study,
and play come together on a Windows 11 PC.
And for a limited time, college students get
The best of both worlds.
Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. The Four Seasons is back for season 2, starring Tina Fey, Will Forte, Coleman Domingo, Marco Calvani, Carrie Kenny Silver, and Erica Henningsen. After a difficult year, your favorite group of friends continues their tradition of vacationing together, now with a baby in tow. From the Jersey Shore to upstate New York and Italy, their getaways are sure to take unexpected turns where comedy ensues. Watch The Four Seasons May 28th, only on Netflix.
Sometimes there isn't necessarily a band to talk about. Sometimes there isn't necessarily a list to create. Sometimes we just get together to talk about a record. We call that one-off because it is one-off. And I mean, it's a little different this time, Anderson. We will be talking about Spacehog's The Hogyssey, and we'll get into the why, in a few minutes. But like, what brings your attention to, I mean, I think I kind of already know the answer, but let's get in the weeds on it a little bit at least. What brings your attention to Spacehog specifically?
Well, I love Spacehog. Resident Alien was required listening in 95 and 96.
Mm-hmm.
This album came out, I want to say 2001. And this album is beautiful. It's fantastic. But because it was 2001, in the meantime was, already tired on the radio and there really wasn't follow-ups. This one is largely forgotten and it deserves better.
Mm-hmm. So when this idea gets posited, Brian, what makes you jump on to say, yeah, sure, I'll cover this one random Spacehog record?
Yeah, I mean, like any opportunity I get to talk about a 90s band, I'll take any chance I can to talk about like a 90s band, especially like one that people perceive, well, I guess is like a one-hit wonder. But this was like definitely like one that I think should have been like talked about more, like the band in general, because like they did so much more than just like the one song that everybody knows.
To that point, I was thinking about this like when I hit play on the record, and again we'll get into like the weeds on the record, and thinking back to like the Spacehog episode, like none of the songs not on Resident Alien stuck out, and like not in a bad way, just like you have the looming in the meantime over your heads in like both the best and worst ways possible. I could argue that In the Meantime is one of the best songs ever written, period, end of story. It is for sure one of the best 90s songs, period, end of story. But like it is this monumental thing that like breaks out and is like a world beater, and to Anderson's point, is kind of tired by the time the Hogyssey comes out, but like also not tired because it's timeless. And I think that is kind of the entire point of Spacehog and coming back to this record. They really are a timeless band, and I think that's the one thing, again, positive for In the Meantime, is it is timeless. And when you listen to Resident Alien, it is timeless. Like that is what works about Spacehog, is you can go back to them at any point and pick up where you left off. And I think, again, hammering Anderson's point home. If In the Meantime doesn't get played out, Spacehog is like this whole other creature, because almost literally, but like they get their just desserts. But let's like start centering in on the Hogyssey. So obviously, it must not have been available on Spotify. I didn't really research it, but we didn't include it in our episode, Anderson. That's why you decided to bring it to the table today. So let's get into the weeds a little bit. Let's talk about the Hogyssey specifically.
Yeah, because this is Essential Spacehog, and you're right, Spotify didn't have it when you guys did it in 2019, but anybody who's listening, go back and hear that episode because you guys did fantastic. John A was on there, our good friend Peter was on there, and Justin sings every song from Resident Alien. It's beautiful.
Of course I did.
You did, and your English accent was interesting. Okay, Hogyssey specifically, I'm going to link these guys to Stone Temple Pilots. I feel like recording wise, they took a similar path where Resident Alien equates with Purple. Hogyssey is going to be number 4.
Ooh, okay.
Where they kind of go back to what they did really well on their first album. In between was the Chinese album that was more of a concept. It was supposed to be a soundtrack and it just never materialized.
That tracks so hard because
Yeah.
I don't want to normally I would, kind of go in an order here, but because you said that, like I need to I need to get this thought out into the ether. The first thing I thought when I'm listening to the Hogyssey is that it feels a lot more in line with what Resident Alien was. Like it lacks the In the Meantime of it all, but like in the best way possible. Like it doesn't have that one thing that's kind of crushing the rest of the record. Like it's a lot more even keeled. And again, like to me, that makes the entire thing shine a whole lot better. That tracks perfectly. It is much more in line with what they did on their first record.
This episode is brought to you by Beneful. Dogs of the world, lend me your ears, snoots, and little toe beans. We've been sitting and staying for boring food for too long. It's time to demand high-quality ingredients, fresh from the pantry. Together with Beneful freshly prepared meals, we can start a mealtime revolution. Can I get a woof woof? Kick boring in the bowl with Beneful freshly prepared meals. Visit Purina.com/Beneful to shop now.
The road to the NBA Finals ends here, with star guard setting the tone. The Cavs eye another upset, while the Knicks carry the dreams of all of New York. The Eastern Conference Finals continue on ESPN and ABC.
Yeah, and I mean the ballads on Hogyssey don't measure up as well, I don't think. I mean, the first one had Zeros and it had Starside and Shipwreck. Those are all fantastic songs. The ballads here aren't quite up to that level. They're still really good, but they're not fantastic. But the other songs, like the bangers, they all hit.
They all hit hard. They rip.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys would have done a 20, you would have had 5 to 7 from the Hogyssey on that list. And your top 10 would have been a lot harder to do.
For sure. So, I guess let's talk about like first impressions, Brian. Like when you hit play on the record, like does this sit in what you would think about Spacehog, or does this change your opinion on them?
No, this definitely, it brought me back to like 95. Like I listened to like their first record, and I don't think I ever went really past that. so I missed a lot of that stuff in the middle. But this felt like picking up where they left off, like you guys said. Like it was just like, okay, this is just a continuation. I had to, check to see like what there were for records in between the two. But yeah, it pretty much like from go, I was like, oh yeah, this is like right in my zone.
I do wish, like, okay, what I'm going to do real quick. This isn't an attempt to mitigate or relitigate or anything our previous list, but I do kind of want to, because I went and like looked at it and kind of quickly looked at our list from the episode, and man, of course I just had it up and like, because we skipped Hogyssey and went right to As It Is on Earth, I think was the name of it, the 2013
Yeah,
record.
and that one came out like 13 years later.
Yeah. I had it up, and of course it's gone now. So now this isn't as flawless here.
I listened to it earlier today, and I don't remember either.
Well, that's kind of the thing, is like, again, the weight of an In the Meantime, an undeniable song. Okay, so here we go. Here's the 10 from it. In the Meantime, Mungo City, I Wish You Well, Glad to Know, Space is the Place, Captain Freeman, Carry On, Gluttony, Cruel to Be Kind, Zeros. I mean, I think you look at those Resident Alien songs, I think those are all safe. Those all stay there. And then it kind of becomes, I don't think there's as much from the Chinese album that remains, like, because it looks like we've got 3 from that. And then we've got 3 from As It Is on Earth. I mean, it's a really balanced list, but I think easily you get 2 to 3 songs from Hogyssey. And again, it kind of changes the entire list, which to your point, what you said in the chat was you didn't want to relitigate the list because this was a Peter list. So that's why we're not relitigating. That's why we're not, advocating for changing our original list, because it also becomes extremely hard at that point.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. Messing with a Peter list feels sacrilegious to me. I can't do it.
I get it. So, all right, let's talk about like songs specifically. We're not making a list here, but what we decided to do was grab 5 songs rather, that if we were to build an EP, this is what it would look like for us. So we're not going to build a list, but we are going to compare notes essentially. So out of curiosity, Anderson, what were your 5 songs?
Okay, the 5 I was going to go with, Jupiter's Moon, the lead off.
Mhm.
This Is America, I Want to Live, A Real Waste of Food, and At Least I Got Laid.
Okay. All right. So
Wow.
yeah, same question to you, Brian.
Okay. I pretty much agree. That album starts out with bangers. Jupiter's Moon, This Is America, I Want to Live, which I have as like my favorite song off the record. A Real Waste of Food, and then I went with at least I got laid.
All right, so
Damn.
Yeah. Well,
You got unanimous.
3 of those are like across the board unanimous, because I had This Is America, I Want to Live, Earthquake, and It Is, and At Least I Got Laid. So At Least I Got Laid would have been unanimous, This Is America would have been unanimous, and I Want to Live would have been unanimous, and then we would have been talking about. I'll say this, like, I had Jupiter's Moon until pretty late. I listened to the album before we went on, and listened like A Real Waste of Food like jumped out at me. Like I could have made, really the only things that were never in the conversation for me were Dancing on My Own, which is fine. It didn't jump out enough. Same with The Strangest Dream. Well, the Hogyssey didn't, because it is basically just a rock version of the Odyssey. So like that never had a chance. But everything other than that, like kind of everything was in play. This is just a really good record, and if you're honestly, if you're not into Spacehog, if for whatever reason in the meantime tired you out, just go to listen to this, because it doesn't have the weight of that. I think, to your point, Brian, I think I Want to Live is the closest to that, but because you've never
absolutely
right, like it's so good. It has breakout hit potential, but like probably not the same like weight, the same level. Like,
well, not in 2001.
Also, yes.
No, I mean, if it would have been a follow-up to In the Meantime,
Yeah.
we'd be having a different
that'd been
conversation. But
Yeah,
2001,
this one wasn't go anywhere.
yeah, Spacehog just came kind of late. I mean, if Resident Alien came out in 93 and this came out in 95, it would be a much bigger band, but a lot of their music just came a little too late.
Well, there you go. But to that, it is truly great, and you should go listen to the Hogyssey. And fellas, I appreciate your time today.
Yeah, thank you. And it was my number 6 or 7, so I mean, we were all pretty close.
Yeah. I mean, Jupiter's Moon is a great lead off. Earthquake is clearly the only one that didn't get any extra love. Like, it feels like we were all pretty much in agreement on everything else. So, all right. Well, we will see you all tomorrow. Bye.